A new proposal could give seniors a bonus 1,400 Social Security payout as projections for the 2026 COLA just went up. Also, President Trump is getting some good news when it comes to the economy. We've got a lot to cover today, but real quick, if you want to stay updated on Social Security, US politics, and world news that affects all of us, make sure to subscribe and become part of this fast-growing community. Many who receive Social Security have said that their checks just aren't matching what they're paying at the stores, and many of us agree with that idea. Even with COLA increases, everything else becomes more expensive, which puts many seniors in a very bad position. One where they're having to worry about the cost of living while they receive Social Security checks that can't keep up. This is why we're hearing from the TSCL, or the Senior Citizens League. For anyone who might not be familiar with them, they're one of the nation's largest nonpartisan seniors group, which means that they're looking out for seniors despite political beliefs. And now they're calling for a one-time $1,400 catch-up payment for all retirees on Social Security. We're going to talk about how they plan to get this done, but first, I want to show you what President Trump said about Social Security early this year.
I'm not going to touch Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. No, we're going to get fraud out of there. You see where I talk about it all the time. We have people 250 years old and all, tremendous fraud. But that has nothing to do with that. We're going to get the fraud out, and everybody wants us to get the fraud out, and therefore you'll make it better. But we're going to have tremendous growth. When you look at all of the car companies that are now coming into the United States, and they've been announcing, like on a daily basis, they're going to build their plants and they're going to create tremendous numbers of jobs and so many other things.
The growth that the president referred to back then seemed to be connected to U.S. companies coming back home, together with the tariff revenue that he's been talking about for some time now. Just recently, Apple CEO Tim Cook was at the White House to confirm that their company is making a huge investment in America, which some claim will influence other companies to follow suit.
Today, Apple is announcing that it will invest $600 billion, that's with a B, in the United States over the next 4 years. That's $100 billion more than they were originally going to invest. And this is the largest investment Apple has ever made in America and anywhere else. And it's just an honor to have you. As you know, Apple's been an investor in other countries a little bit. I won't say which ones, but a couple. And they're coming home. $600 billion. It's the biggest there is.
This means that the plan is working. It's obviously not perfect, but it's coming along as expected. But what's the plan for Social Security? If you ask me, the president should definitely get involved, especially as many older Americans are seeing their Social Security buying power destroyed. This comes with rising Medicare Part B premiums that often wipe out their entire COLA increase. And that's why I agree with the proposal to provide a $1,400 payout for those on Social Security, an amount that should be sent as soon as possible. Now there's another silver lining that we're looking at. Projections for the 2026 COLA increase just went up to 2.6%. This is just a bit higher compared to the 2.5% we were told just recently, which is why it's important to get this proposal from the TSCL out into the public, because we all know that many seniors need all the help they can get. Moving on, we've got a little bit of good news as economists are getting embarrassed by the Trump administration, with the economy leaning on better numbers as expected yet again.
For the past 6 months while Mr. Trump has been president, the CPI has increased only 1.9% annually. The so-called core rate, ex-food and energy, 2.4%. Probably the most important data is that there's virtually no goods inflation, which is the most tariff-sensitive part of the index. So get this. Over the past 3 and 12 months, goods have only increased 0.7% at an annual rate less than 1%.
The White House is also celebrating these numbers, something that many so-called experts vowed wasn't going to happen.
We continue to see positive economic reports across the board. Today's CPI report revealed that inflation beat market expectations once again, and inflation remains stable. Overall, inflation has run at a 1.9 average annual pace in President Trump's first 6 months in office. Prices for everyday goods continue to decline. Energy prices fell in July, including gasoline, which is down nearly 10% over last year, and propane, which is down 2.5% over last year as well. Egg prices fell once again in July and are down 20% since President Trump took office. Shelter inflation, the largest contributor to overall inflation, is at its lowest level since October of 2021. Wage growth for American workers is beating inflation once again. As inflation declines, this administration continues to be wholeheartedly committed to putting more money back into the American people's pockets.
But here's an important question, and one that really matters. Are you seeing costs go down where you are? Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you want to keep yourself informed on things that matter to you here at home, then consider subscribing to the Civic Trigger. As always, thank you for your time. I'll talk to you in the next one.